Okay, so I've been using the Mavic 2 Pro for all of 2021, and to me it's a pretty flawless drone. But just a couple of months ago, DJI brought in the Mavic 3. Bang! Oh, probably should have done that. Let's see if it's worth the upgrade from the 2 to the 3. That's what we'll be discussing today. I'm Jack from Edinburgh Drone Company. Let's get into this review. So the way this review will work is I'll go through the Mavic 3, talk about all the new things, all the fancy gizmos and gadgets that DJI have brought in. Then I'll compare it to the 2, both footage and specs, and then we'll make a slight overview and decide, is it worth it? Is this drone the next best thing? We'll just have to wait and see. Okay, some quick features about the Mavic 3 and its packaging that I'm a big fan of. The bag is brilliant because it can turn into a rucksack, just like that. And then you got a little compartment at the top for storing whatever, you know, hats, gloves, camera gear. That's what I used when I was out in the hills and stuff filming. It's perfect. The second thing about the packaging that I love is the drone itself. The drone itself, instead of the usual plastic sort of cover just for the camera, they've given you sort of like a full body wrap basically, so it keeps the propellers in check and keeps the camera good, because the plastic ones, after using the drone loads, they would break eventually. Okay, straight off the bat, the Mavic 3 comes in 2 different versions. The first is called the Cine Premium Combo. With that, you're paying for everything. You'll get the Fly More combo, as well as the ability for Apple ProRes for color grading. You're gonna get a 1 terabyte SSD internal storage, which is very nice. And you're also gonna get one of those nice RC Pro high bright controllers. The other one, the base model, doesn't have that. It just has an 8GB storage, which kills me because you know you can get more than that. So the Cine Premium Combo comes in at £4,279. So in terms of the base model, price-wise, just the drone with a battery and a controller, that's £1,879. If you get the Fly More combo with the 3 added batteries, more wires, things like that, more propellers, you're gonna be paying £2,549. So in terms of size, they're both quite similar. The Mavic 3 is actually lighter, it's 895 grams, and the Mavic 2 Pro is 905 grams. So it's lighter, but you're still not being able to avoid categories or anything like that we have in the UK. So codec wise, you've always got H.264 and H.265. With the Cine version, you'll have Apple ProRes. The H.264 does 100 megabytes per second, and the H.265 does 140 megabytes per second. I can say personally, color grading with this drone is so much fun. The light it allows, the shadows it can take and pull from, unbelievable. Would I say there's much difference in the Mavic 2 Pro? I wouldn't say there's a huge difference. So the big one, flight time. This drone boasts a 46-minute flight time compared to the 2 Pro, which only had 31 minutes. I can tell you, up here in Scotland, where it's very cold and batteries don't last very long and the summer only lasts a week or 2, that is huge. Okay, so quickly, on the batteries. Slightly different on the Mavic 3 that they come out the back. Longer batteries for longer battery life. Just slide in the back there. In terms of the charging as well, it's no longer all the cables and all that sort of jazz that you had with the last one. It's just a USB to C into the charging station, which is fantastic. It makes it easier for if you're charging in a car as well. You know, you just put it into the cigarette thing that everyone has. If your car's old enough, if it's new enough, you've probably got a USB port. Anyway, irrelevant. Yeah, so nice, easy charging wise. This does take longer to charge, definitely takes longer. So if you buy the Fly More combo with the 3 batteries, you're getting over 2 hours of flying, which is incredible. You know, they're getting close to that 55-minute mark of the Matrice 300, which is a much larger drone. So kudos to the battery people at DJI, big up yourselves, you've smashed this one. Speed-wise, at its fastest, I was getting this drone up to 46 miles per hour. The ascend and descend speed in speed mode is doubled, but obviously don't forget the sensors won't be on, so be extra careful. And while we're on the subject of the sensors, this drone has impeccable sensors, and they're a really new, neat feature. You might see this on cars sometimes when you're reversing, is it will have sort of like wee rings showing where the exact point of the obstacle is, and then it will start to get stronger the closer you are. So obstacle avoidance wise, this drone is omnidirectional, which basically means it senses obstacles and objects in every direction. So the Mavic 3, as you may have noticed, has two lenses at the front. One is your classic wide angle, it's a Hasselblad, so you're getting good quality, and the other is a zoom. You may have noticed with the Mavics 2s, there was a Pro and a zoom version, and with that, you really felt like whichever one you picked, you were missing out on what the other one could offer. So with the 2 zoom, you could get nice dolly zooms and all that jazz, but then you weren't getting a nice quality Hasselblad. So once again, big up yourselves over at DJI. It must have been tough to drop that cash cow, but we thank you for it. Main wide angle Hasselblad camera is a micro four thirds sensor, which is terrific. You're getting a lot of quality, a lot of megapixels with that sort of camera. If you're full frame or nothing, then you're probably going to need to look at the Inspire range, and as well as taking out a small bank loan. But the micro four thirds is fantastic. It works well in low light. It's not a Sony A7S, but it's as close to one as you can get that flies. The field of view on this camera is 84, which is equivalent of your basic 24mm lens, so it's a little wider than the 2 Pro. The aperture goes from f2.8 to 11 stop, which is great. I'd love to see it break into the, f-stop 1 aperture. In terms of focus, you're looking about 3 foot to infinity. So let's talk about the zoom lens quickly a bit. On this drone, it's not an optical zoom, it's purely just in-lens zoom. So the zoom has 6 stops. You're looking at the 1 times, which is your wide angle 24mm, then you've got 2 times, then a 4 times, then a 7 times, which is returning to the original zoom. And then beyond that, you've got a 14 times, and then a 28 times. With each point, you're losing quality. In the 1, 2, and 4 times, you can shoot D-Log, but from 7 times onwards, you're just gonna have to go with the standard color, basically. In D-Log, you'll only have 400 and 800 ISO. Anything higher, you're not gonna be able to shoot D-Log. So let's quickly talk about photography. An often forgotten feature about these drones that definitely holds up with the video side. You've got a 20 megapixel sensor. Resolution is 5280 by 3956, so you can use that full 5K sensor to get these high resolution pictures. And you can shoot both JPEG and DNG RAW, depending on your preference. You have up to 12,800 ISO, which is big. Finally, this drone has come unfinished. Once again, DJI, you have pulled an EA, and it's just not everything that was promised in the videos. We don't have the active track yet. I know this is coming, but some people might have been buying this specifically hoping, well, I want that active track for doing my sports stuff or whatever. It's not there. Right now we only have the master shots and the time lapses, no panoramas, no quick shots. And the master shots, it's not like you have the choice of each one. You just pick an object and then it will do all of them, and that takes like 2 minutes something. If you're just wanting a specific one, like a Droney or a Orbit, that was it, an Orbit, then you'll just have to do them all and wait around, and it's a bit of a faff, to be honest, really. So I'm up in the Pentlands again today, doing a bit of drone footage comparison. I'll be comparing the Mavic 3 to the Mavic 2 Pro and the Mavic Mini 2. Just showing off the footage, seeing if it's worth an upgrade for yourself or if you're happy with what you've got at the moment. Let's go on to the footage and see what you think. Okay, conclusion time. Is it worth the upgrade? Short answer, yes. Long answer, if the money's there. This drone is fantastic because of the flight time, because of the Hasselblad camera and the zoom camera. You're getting an extra 60 minutes with each battery compared to this. If you get the Flymore kit, that's close to 45 minutes extra, over 45 minutes extra. If you are using a drone in a shoot all day, this is the one for you. You're gonna be having to bring it down less, so you'll miss less, things like that. The only holdback is it's not fully updated, it's not all there, it's not everything we were promised, so we don't know how good the active track actually is. We've seen videos, but DJI can be very perceptive with videos. It's a bit like Ubisoft. If you still want tracking, you may as well hold on to this for now. but this drone is a bad boy. It's a serious upgrade, and I would recommend it personally. We aren't endorsed by DJI. You can probably tell that by some of the comments. But yes, it is worth it. This is a class drone. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, it goes a long way. If you've got any questions about these drones or any other drones, let us know in the comments. We'll address them, we'll maybe make a video on them. Until next time.